What's going on, everyone? I'm back with another Sinnoh Cup team that just is dominant against the current meta. Today's team is going to be Toxicroak, Beambarel, and Abomasnow. It's going to be a little different because it's going to be some, as you know with me, unique movesets. So today we're going to be running Toxicroak with Counter Dynamic Punch Mud Bomb, Abomasnow with the regular moveset of Powder Snow, Energy Ball, Weather Ball, and Beambarel with Water Gun, Surf, and Hyper Beam, because you guys know how much I love running Hyper Beam on things. So a few things with this team. Beambarel 9 out of 10 times is going to be your safe swap. You can at least get a shield against most fighters that are going to come in, and then you just don't shield, and then you can reverse farm with the Toxie and just shield once, you know, like with the typical Lucario, something like that. When you're looking at IVs for these Pokemon, the two that don't really matter are going to be Toxicroak and Abomasnow. Those, I mean, the one that I used on the main is not the best. I mean, I think it's like our high rank Ultra League one, but it's not the best IVs for it. My Toxicroak's good, but I proved with the small account that the IVs don't really make that big of a difference with it. But, and I mean this very seriously, Beambarel, you need a good ranked one, because a good ranked Beambarel can withstand two avalanches and the Powder Snows from a Frostlass swap in, so you don't have to shield, and that can flip one of the common teams that you're going to see. And I think it's shown in like one of the first two battles I run into it. So let's just get to the first one. There is going to be one point where I have to switch the setting on it because the layout moved a little bit in stream. But let's get into the battles. So this is going to be the main team. I thought it was one of the first ones. So they're going to switch to Frostlass. You immediately go to Beambarel, and you're going to see, I can't remember if this guy double shields. Either way, like Frostlass and Beambarel, Beambarel on the Frostlass is a really good scenario for you. You don't have to shield the first one. It doesn't put you in any position or that you would have to. As you saw, the Powder Snow damage didn't take it, Powder Snow and the Avalanche didn't take it to half. But because he shielded, I'm going to shield now. It really puts you in the position of if they shield, you shield. I believe he double shields for some reason, yeah. So now you just shield and farm down. Two, three, four. And he dies right before he gets it. And then now we hit the Empoleon with a Hyper Beam. And you're about to see big boy damage on a steel that resists it. So now you just bring in Toxie, but they have Drift in the back. Common team that this just hard walls, for lack of better terms. Because now you throw that, now you can just farm down the Drift and then throw something, doesn't really matter at this point, at the Empoleon, because it will kill. He can't kill you by the time you kill him. He realizes it. So that's going to be a very common team that you're going to see. Alright, so hold on, I gotta switch this now. Sorry, guys. Oh, I don't know. Back to the battles. Alright. So like I said, that's going to be a very common team that you're going to see. And as common as that is, every once in a while you will run into one that's just a hard counter. If it's a Drift Blim lead, you swap and they swap a bomb. So you swap your Beambarel against the Drifblim lead, and they just bring in an Abomasnow, I hate to say it, but there's just not much you can do. Because you can't win switch against an Abomasnow switch in, and it's just very, very painful. So that is going to be a hard counter to this team, but once you're going to see that that's about it for a hard counter, just like across the board team, or like I should just say an Abomasnow switch in is just horrible rough. So this is a very good lead. They switch to their own Toxicroak, but because you have everything weak in the back to Toxicroak, you just have to stay in. Do not throw the first move. Let him throw first on you. Because if you let him throw first, you'll keep the sync on it. So you'll more often than not get your counter through and not be behind. Because as long as you can stay ahead on energy against an opposing Toxicroak that switches in, then you're fine. So once they do this, once they bring in the Gastrodon after just letting the Toxicroak go down, I know that the Abomasnow is good against both of them in the back. So I bring in Beambarel because the Munchlax cannot farm me down and I can put in work. So now he switches. So now you're going to watch Beambarel just absolutely do Beambarel stuff. Because I thought he was going to throw, otherwise I just would have went to the Hyper Beam. Because he can't farm you down like safely without me getting to multiple moves. Because it's 40 energy for a Surf and 35 for a Body Slam. We CMP, which is just horrible for him. So now he throws that. Bring in Toxie. And I just want to get rid of this thing because I know that it has energy and I don't want to mess around with it. So I kill that and then throw this out. And then he top lefts. Because there's nothing that the Gastrodon can do against the Abomasnow. Alright, so how long? Is it literally just that one? Here, hold on. Oops. Okay, I gotta switch it again. Sorry. Okay. But with that, as long as you can... So the main point of that is if there's a Gastrodon, both your Beambarel and the Abomasnow are going to be good against it. Because the Beambarel can just, especially with shields up, you can just kind of put hard, fast move pressure damage with a Water Gun on the Gastrodon. And then if you can do that, and as long as there's not a... I guess you'd by that point, you'd be seeing the third. But you can always then save the Abomasnow for it where it's just an absolute wall. So then Powerful Muscle Man. Great friend of the stream. So he's running Patchy in the lead. What I always like to do with Patchy leads is I go up to the 6th, throw the Mud Bomb. He got a Volt Switch in, which is horrible. Lets it go, which is smart. And then so I throw 2 more, and then I switch to Abomasnow. Because now he's going to be throw, and I caught the Thunderbolt, actually. So he tried to catch the powder or the Weather Ball on his Munchlax. But I had no reason to throw right away, because the Apache can't do anything to Abomasnow, so there's no reason to throw. Feel free to just keep farming to see what they're going to do. So at this point, I'm just going to start throwing Weather Balls. And also at this point, here, let me pause this for a second. So at this point also, one of my great friends in the community, Dylan9497, made a team of Patchy, Munchlax, and Abomasnow. So at this point, once he brought in Munchlax against my Abomasnow that had energy, I was thinking in my mind, I'm just like, I'm wondering if he's going to be running that team. So what unfolds next is going to be kind of based off of the idea that I'm planning or I'm playing for against that team. Because then, if I remember right, he brings in his Abomasnow now. Yeah, so I just throw the... I don't try to build up, obviously. I just throw. And then I switch back out. Because with 2 shields, I know at this point I can pretty much counter down. So that's why I threw the Mud Bomb. Because if I can just get any damage off on him, I should be fine. So then he brings that in. And remember, I caught the Thunderbolt, and he only did 2, so he should only have been at that. But then I knew that I could counter down, and then I can just counter this down. He didn't even see my third. Beambarel, hard bench pressure in that matchup. But that was a very big case of predicting teams based off of what people are running and understanding that you can more or less, when you have things like Munchlaxes and Abomasnows and stuff that's weak to counter, trusting the fact that Toxie can just kind of power through it, especially if they're running shadows. And then that's actually another good question that I can bring up. So there's probably gonna be someone that's just like, hey, can you get can you use Shadow Abomasnow? Like you guys always know, I don't really like Shadow Abomasnow, or not Shadow Abomasnow, Shadows in Sinnoh Cup, because I feel like they're a little too glassy, and I feel like everything really hurts in this cup because everything's either the biggest tank in Great League or like a glass cannon. So that regular, like the non-shadow reduction in defense is going to be key. Case in point, if you try to safe swap Abomasnow, they swap in Lucario, you can actually get to 2 weather balls as long as no counters go through. So you can get to 2 weather balls and either force shield or force life on them. So that's a big key thing to remember with this team is when I make these teams, it's more or less geared towards not having the shadow on there, because if it would be best with shadow, I would run the shadow on that. All right. And then, yep. So this guy, he Gastrodon lead, horrible. So you switch to Beambarel in this. I messed that up a little bit. Abomasnow. Worst scenario ever. So I actually shield this because I try to land the Hyper Beam. Because if they think that they can tank whatever it is, it's going to be bad for them. So I throw the Hyper Beam. They shield it. Just makes sense. And then so at this point I realize that they're counting hard. So I just wait it out. Let this one go because it's not going to kill. It's going to hurt, but it's not going to kill. So then I have this. So I switch to Abomasnow. So also key point to know at this point, that I was counting the energy of the Gastrodon up to this point. And I can't remember now because it's going a lot faster, but I want to say he was at 3 Mud Slaps, and it's 5 to the Body Slam. But now this is an okay matchup because I think that I can, yeah, because I get to this one first. I can just put damage on this. He shields. And they fell Stinger, which is horrible. But then this will kill. Two, yep. And I catch it. and then the energy ball goes through for the win. So that's a good example of making sure that even though you're in a horrible position, win cons can be found by making sure you keep track of all the energy that all the Pokemon have. Because think about it, that Gastrodon threw 2 at the beginning, 1 more once he came back in, and then 2, and then I caught it. So keeping track of energy across all the Pokemon, it is hard. I understand that, but it's a very, very good skill to learn. So you can do stuff like that to pull out, for lack of better terms, just hard counter wins. So let's get this last one. And if I remember correctly, I messed this last one up by switching wrong. So Mr. McAlvin. So Drift Lead, horrible. And I think I go A-Bomb for some reason. Basti in the back. So this is another team that's just rough. So I just go straight energy ball. Usually what I would do there is throw in Beambarel, but for some reason I didn't. But like I said, this is one of the hard counter teams because if I remember right, he has... Also, I've played Mr. McAlvin a couple times, so he knows this team. So now you bring in Toxie, you just wait it out. Wait the clock out, of course, because you don't want your Toxie at all locked in. You don't need to shield. As you see, it doesn't even do half. So he kills that. Boom. As a Drapion. Which, it's so irritating in my mind. Granted, he would have pulled the Drapion, and there really isn't a play for this. Because there's no way that I can... I can try to fight for Switch in this, but a Shadow Drapion is just too oppressive with how fast it can get to moves with Poison Sting. Yeah. And then he gets a defense fall on it. I mean, it's so far gone at this point. Because there's nothing that I can't even reverse farm because I'm running Dynamic Punch. My best, like I said, my best luck was to do that, but I didn't realize how little health the Beambarel had at this point. So it was kind of... The bed was made, it was over before it was over, if that makes sense. And he hasn't moved. There's no point in shielding it. It's over, because he can hex down at this point, if not. But it was still a good 4 battles. And like I said, I also showed how to do it wrong. So let's get to the money shot. Oop. So, like I said, this was a 4-1 to take me from 29.75 up to 30.20. So, as you can see, guys, this is a powerful team. It's a fun team because on Switch, if a Empoleon doesn't shield. So on Switch, if an Empoleon, if I would have swapped Beambarel on that last one against the Drift, they bring Empoleon in. If they don't shield the Hyper Beam, it kills them. The Hyper Beam damage with the combined water guns will one-shot the Empoleon. So you need to pull Switch. Granted, you're not in a good spot because 9 out of 10 times there's a Basti in the back with the Empoleon. So the Drifblim, Empoleon, usually the third's Basti or something like that. Or something that's not good for Abomasnow. But if you don't shield, then you just have hard switch advantage and even shields. And then you would have your Toxie on the Basti and then your A-Bomb on the Drift. But yeah, powerful team. Give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments. Use this to get to Legend on this, and or Legend on the business account, and to go high in the leaderboards on the main. So like I said, let me know what you think. Thank you all. Hope this helps. See ya.